Instagram. Instagram. Let's talk a bit. Critical race theory on Talk About It Tuesday with hashtag T.
Oh, Lord have mercy. What's good, Techo? What's good? So, yeah, man, like, I've been hearing a lot of crazy buzz going on, and you know, with all this stuff going on outside in the world, you know what I'm saying? With all this crazy stuff going on outside in the world, you know, the question I need to talk to, the question I'm bringing up today is a question about, you know, something with the kids. I want to see if any of the kids are any of the families with kids have something to talk about with this one today. So let's talk about it. But I need some people to like do me a favor. You know what I'm saying? Just share this live out. You know, tap in with your boy right now. You know, appreciate y'all for being a part of the show. Share this out to your folks. So, yeah, we having this conversation right now, and today's conversation is gonna be something serious. All right, so I feel like this might be a good time to get everybody in. You know, I might even actually, you know what? I think I will do that. I'm gonna send a little invitation out. Send a quick little invite out.
Share the live, share the live, share the live. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Share the live. Share the live, share the live, share the live. It's the Peasy Show. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Yeah. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna just. I got a few people I'm sending it out to. I'm just gonna be very selective of who I'm sending it out to. Word. So today, like I said, oh, what do y'all think about this thing that's being pitched around, and you know, it's been pitched around. A lot of the conversation we're talking about is, do you think that uh, critical race theory should be a core conversation in history when we talk about it, as opposed to schools and teaching the kids? Do you think critical race theory is something that we should talk about in schools? So that's the conversation topic of the day, is critical race theory. we're trying to have this conversation. I want to see what everybody is going to say about this. I really want to think. I really want to see where everybody's mental state is. Who is that? Who is that? Talk to me. What's up? What up? What up? Talk to
Yo,
me.
what's up, Mr. Guns? Yeah, I'm seeing how
What's good? What's good?
what's popping. What's the topic for today?
Topic of today is critical race theory. All right, critical race theory. And the question of today's conversation is going to be, all right, because we literally just got it rolling today. So like, I feel like today's conversation should realm in that realm, and I think this is a really important topic to talk about, especially seeing as though there are certain countries, even in outside the U.S. that have not even ventured into their theory of right, exactly. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So like, there's so many different things in different regions of our world that they have not reflected on the differences between these people, or between these different groups of people. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, until we can establish some sort of playbook here where people understand the particular climates that they walk themselves into in certain cases without knowing the full score of what's going on. You understand where I'm going?
Yeah.
And personally, I think this wouldn't be a bad thing. So what you're saying is, because like if you live in the U.S. and where I'm from, I'm in the USA. So I mean, if you live in the U.S., you're thinking to yourself, this is something that has not been pretty much talked about a lot through history. If you've done if you've dug up any American history, and the only way you would have dug up anything deeper than that is if you were surfing around through the web, or digging deep into the archives of documentations on from critical situations that took place, or documents from relatives that lived in that era, that you have from generations before you. So the thing that I'm looking at right now is a series of realistic things that we really should be focusing on, because at the end of the day, this is probably something that we are really going to have to work at, especially for U.S. citizens, is how to approach this situation. Because if you don't know about it, how are we ever going to change? Keep hearing people say, slavery was so many years ago. But at the end of the day, there are still signs that this thing is still strong in this country. And racism that led people to, institutionalize these laws and these different mannerisms around non-white citizens of this country had made this whole situation a lot worse than what it was. So at the end of the day, for folks that don't see, now with this pandemic, we are starting to see. So at the end of the day, I feel like we should have this kind of conversation, because I feel like critical race theory at the end of the day should probably be the very first of these conversations to lay down these kids as soon as they become of age to understand, so that when it becomes realistically known, because some of these kids are having to endure this at earlier ages than others.
Yeah, you see what's happening with the Asians.
You know what I mean? They're experiencing, right, you know what I'm saying? They're experiencing, different grades of this, you know what I mean? Of this just ancestral racism, you know what I mean, from, other groups of people, because it's not like we can stop all of these people until we can stop all of these damn people.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? person to be, who they are. I guess that's the God-given right on this earth to be that. But as long as you're not hurting anyone, when you get to try to hurt, institutionalize harming someone, then you have crossed that line. You know what I'm saying, and deserve whatever.
Show. Yeah, because the other day, yeah.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
The other day I was walking down to the bait shop, and I was going to get some bait because I was going to go fishing. And then I saw these white males. They came up to me and they started heckling. They were calling me like racial slurs and this and that.
Words.
Yeah. It was terrible. It was.
See what I mean? Like it gets wild.
They called me the N-word. They called me like anything. They were just being ignorant. And then they were threatening me.
But you
kick my asses and shit. Because I was with my little brother.
But do you see the situation though? Like they attempt to intimidate you and use these intimidation tactics. Even still today, some of these people trying to inherently manipulate situations amongst other people, and you can't blame anyone for retaliating in any kind of, negative manner at this time, bro. So at the end of the day, like I'm here to jump in this conversation because I feel like, like I feel like personally, this is something that we really should stand firm on and speak out about this, because if we want our kids to actually learn something and be able to develop the real knowledge that they need to know about what's going on in this critical world that we live in, I feel like we really need to start from that realm and like, listen,
Yeah.
I know people that do this already or have it. We have to have these conversations with our kids. You see what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard of
Once they become a certain age.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever heard of the saying, history repeats itself,
Right. And until you start to change that, you will not change that.
Exactly.
And that's what the problem is. We have to stand in unison on speaking terms, and what we really need to establish is what we want. You see what I'm saying? First, it's a what we want first. You see what I'm saying? And then go from what we want and narrowing down what we want to the core lining of that, and using that core lining, what we want to insert that into our governmental people. Be like, listen, motherfucker, y'all finna do this, or y'all finna lose a lot of shit. Y'all, because y'all need us more than we need you. Remember that.
Because, I was going down to the bait shop with my little cousin. Because I got a lot of white folks around me, not trying to, generalize or anything, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's understandable, man. When you do, you do.
Yeah, and they jumped me and my cousin. They started kicking the shit out of us. And we just got our ass. And they were calling us racial slurs. They were adding insult to injury, man. It was terrible.
Wow.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, people are jerks, bro. Like, people can be really jerks, and it's sad to say, and it's bad to even have to generalize it in that specifics, but it's not always, because it's not always white people that we deal with that out there. Some of our own people do that to us. You see what I'm saying? But what's fucked up about it is it's worse when we have to see history on that repetitious level, especially now, since we've realized that, the actual, superior whites that really wanted another 4 years to Trump are really rebelling and pissed off, and they're mad because now not only are they not getting another 4 years of Trump, but they're about to experience a whole hell of a lot of circulating, situations that are about to get way worse when shit really kicks off. So where do you see critical race not being motherfucking core reason why we need to start having these talks with these things institutionalized in our school, like Project 1619 institutionalized into the school? Because at the end of the day, if they don't know know why this is like this or why things are doing this, how are we supposed to learn to change that? How are we supposed to find out how to change it when we keep getting fabricated, whitewashed stories of how history was written to us instead of what history should be telling us from its factual evidence? You see what I'm saying? Because how can you talk about Thomas Edison as the creator of, the inventor of all of these many different things without institutionally thinking about the fact that he had so many black slaves around him that were probably creating these things and handing it to him as gifts to try to keep him from fucking being so fucking assholish to them as if they did what they need to do for him throughout his days of his life or whatever. Because yes, he did own slaves too.
Yeah, and back to the Asian thing, man, they were fucking the Asians up for no reason. The white folks, they were fucking up.
I mean, think about it. The corona situation, the coronavirus situation has caused a lot of that to exacerbate. And while we sit back and think about this whole conversation, I really want people to think, what do y'all think about critical race theory in school? You know what I mean? That's the question of the day right now. While we had this little big smoke break, I'm just going to chill for a second and enjoy this high.
They don't even want to talk about that, though. They don't even want to talk about the Asian stuff that's going on in school. They don't want to talk about the black slavery going on in school. Man, they got a slave in the house all there with this COVID bullshit. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You got to really, really analyze everything that has been taking place over the years, man. Like, Asians, blacks, Hispanics, any outside the country, you know, Africans, especially immigrants in general, any minority that is purebred white or European, you know what I mean, in nationality or some, it's just so hard to gain that kind of effort of respect and loyalty and honor in so many ways, because so many people see you but they don't see you. You know? And while we at time where we at right now, it's a little bit after 7 right now, about 20 after. I just want to say, y'all, please share this live out, man. Let's get some more people in here to talk about this conversation. And if anybody wants to tap in right now, just send a request right now if you want to tap in.
Let me get my brother Joel up in here. Yo, Joel, request.
You know what I mean? Right, so you know what I mean? If anybody has a request that they want to tap in, please feel free.
Well,
if I missed you the first time, if you still almost dropped you.
Oh shit.
I caught you, but
yeah, really,
I got you. Yeah, so man, listen, some more GG from around the way.
Oh, you got iPad now.
Oh, nigga, I don't smoke no crack. Hell nah, that's all weed, bro. We smoke greenery over here, fam. That's my big boy. That's my big cello. That's my big cello right there, man. We smokes nothing but that good stuff right there, straight grind. My boy in the fucking comments be an asshole. If you see anything that says anything about crackhead smokers and shit, yeah, that's probably my motherfucking cousin with that damn retarded shit. But you know, if anything, you know how it goes. That's what I'm talking about. So I see what's going on. State your name and what we talking about.
He used to be saying it for real. He used to be talking. He used to put niggas on the minority shit.
Right. See what I'm saying? We don't hear. And now I had a conversation, and there was a conversation that was brought to the table. What's going on now? Just give me a second. Let me finish my thought. But you see what I'm saying? Like Pac had a method that literally delivered you a raw outline of the fucking street that we're living in, which is something that if you are new to the streets, you are seeing this for yourself, and you are like asking the question of why is it like that over here, but then you go over there and it's like, wow, this shit's a whole new world. this shit is fancy over here. This shit clean. You don't see no fucking trash. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of jazzy shit. And you wonder where it's coming from. You wonder why it's like that. The reason behind it is because of these things that they call redlining. Okay, so if that is not teaching, if that is not systematic racism right there, where do we begin to have this conversation about why this system is broken for people of minority, described to be minority, I should say.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We are described to be the minority. If you are of a melanated descent, you are described in this country as this country of America to be a minority.
Mm-hmm.
So you see what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you hear comments like, oh, by either 2035 or 2050, they're predicting it being majority, the new majority as, you know, interracial, melanated, hybridation, hybrid format.
Exactly, man. They not woke though.
The extinction of the white, the all white race. You feel me?
Yeah, they don't want to talk about it though, man. When I got my school in, man, I couldn't eat, like, my brain, like, they said I almost want green dad, I almost want vegetable because of it. Like, I just got the shit kicked out of me. And it really gives me power to know that I didn't even try to harm them. I didn't even try to even talk back to them. I was just living my everyday life. Everyday life, man. Just trying to every day is a good life because it's just, you know, like, it's just,
Yo, motherfuckers is crazy, bro.
Struggle, man.
It is. It really is, bro. It's that fucking struggle, bro.
Every day, bro.
It's that fucking
Every
struggle.
day. I'm out here. It's like, I just want to be treated normally. I just want to be treated normally, like everyone else. Just like everybody else. And just, no, I have to live out here like I'm a fucking alien or something, man.
Yeah. It sucks, bro. I understand. It really does. I really get it. Yeah, I get it. Because sometimes it's almost as if it's never gonna get any better. But you know, that's why we should fight to do these things, bro. Fight to be better.
Yeah, it's like the cops didn't even.
You know what I mean? We have to fight to make it change.
Charges on that.
Yeah, of course not, because they're in on it, bro. You can't trust them. You can't believe in them either. That system is not even being as tethered as it should. You feel me? It should be more tethered to taming that situation. So if you are just joining us in this conversation, the conversation of the day is, the topic of the day is critical race theory. And the question of the day is, do you think critical race theory should be talked about in schools? Get at me if you want to talk about this. You know, we got a few people in the comments, and I'm sure that if y'all want to talk about this, y'all let me know.
And you know what was the worst? Was the teacher. When I was in school, I tried to wear my do-rag in the school. I remember I had this racist teacher. She told me to take it off. And I needed to wear it because of my hair, how it is, you know? And she made me think,
right.
We're not in, because she said we're not in the hood. She told me. She said we're not in the hood. I was like, what the? I wanted to lash out. In my brain, I was like, what is that supposed to mean? I was like, what is that supposed to mean when I'm in the hood? Because I'm wearing a do-rag. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean?
Exactly. Where is that coming from? What does that mean? Exactly. So where is that a stereo? Is that your stereotype of me? Because you know that, you may know I live in that area. That doesn't mean that's who I am. You know, you see what I'm saying? Some people are quick to judge other people, but they don't know them. And that's the problem with people these days. They've done that to many of people. And this would be the reason why things happen in the manner that it does, and how people end up in the situation they end up in. So what we try to do now from that is we try to find the solution. So how we to find the solution if you're still having to be met with adversity, even at trying to make a change towards getting something as simple as teaching critical race theory in schools. You see what I'm saying? And I believe that that is something that we should really talk about in school and on a more and on a basic level, so that they should have it. Especially when you start talking about history. Okay, we talk about all of these people. We can talk about all of these people that y'all want to talk about. Don't matter. But still, we must talk about the history. It must be told. The beautiful and the ugly of history. You see what I'm saying? And now I ain't talking about slavery. Slavery was fucked up. And we should often look at that and always look at that as something, as it being nothing less than something fucked up. But again, when we listen to history, we have to know the fact that this is not our story. This is not our story. This is his story told through us, or told for us. All right? So we have to inherently know and find out for ourselves what the history truly is.
And if you look at Jackie Robinson,
the real history. Jackie Robinson, yeah. You know, they went through a lot of these different things. They went through all of these different adversities, even from childbirth. See what I'm saying? From birth fighting. What's up, police? Holla at me. Today's topic of the day for Talk About It Tuesday, as I was just saying, we talking about critical race theory. What do y'all think about it? What's on your plate, and what do you think you see this as far as with school? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really see this as something that we should have as a conversation for our kids in schools? And I mean, where would this be an age to start it at? You know what I mean? And where would you see fit to be, you know, even in that aspect, you know, where would you see it being something that needs to be implemented? Because I've seen things starting to get weird around, you know, kids, and they learning how to deal with these different things all at one time in manners that they shouldn't have to. You see what I'm saying? Through you know, forced living, you know what I mean, and having to sit through these uncomfortable and extremely awkward, you know what I mean, difficulties, you know what I mean, for them to just, and this is their way of having to develop through life, or you know, what they're having to look at and be faced with to even, you know, develop through life. Because this is crazy, but this is crazy. We have to find a better way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to find a better way. So, you know, that's really what we're on right now, and that's what we're talking about right now. So if y'all want to tap in on that question of the day, the question of the day is, do you think critical race theory should be taught in schools? How early? And
I'm
how
gonna be real with you, MC. I got switched for days of racial profiling. Back in the day, man. Even now
Yeah.
times, man, it's still here. They try to wipe it. They try to wipe it under the covers, but it's still here. It's still here. Every day I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with pain, and it's like, honestly, I've been to new drugs just to numb the pain. Like the other day, I was taking Percocets. I'm even like drugs, but it's numb the pain. I use Xanax. I'm being real with you.
right?
I was contemplating taking crack the other day. That's how really got.
Yeah, you gotta get away from that, bro, because that's something that I can honestly say. I didn't go to crack. I wouldn't go to the crack. I mean, I went as far as cocaine. That I will say that, and I lost my edge on it. I lost my edge on that. I didn't want it. I don't want it. What's up, Ash? Hey, what's good? Khalif.
Was because you were in pain.
Hey, talk to me, sis. So, no, I was dealing with a lot of shit too.
Yeah, that's how it was.
So like, it was a lot of personal, you know, traumas going on in my life, you know, and all that shit. And it was definitely a mixture of all of that caused the reaction of how I adapted so quickly to, You know what I mean?
Hey, drug abuse is a real problem.
When I did transition in my way away from that.
Drug abuse is a real problem in the United States too.
Hey,
Yeah, well, what to me,
go. My bad, y'all. Cut the
grown
tears
folk
out.
talking. Grown folk talking. Well, see, here's the, you know what's crazy? This is perfect conversation. So at the end of the day, that was what we were talking about. So Khalid, you've been in the comments long enough. We were having.
Yeah, I'm also had this conversation already. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I wanted to ask the question of whether we wanted to have this whole, you know what I mean, discussion about critical race theory brought up in the schools. Like, where do we bring it in, and what age and what school, what level in school should they be? You know, should each student be, what should each students be in order for that to engage and, you know what I mean, for them?
My son.
Because you got to also inherit that with the development of the surroundings they're in.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. I talked to my kid fairly early about it. My son, when he was in second grade, he came home. Don't really say the N word around here. And he came home, you know, nigga, this, nigga, that. And I'm like, where you get from? Where you get that from? And he said that one of the little boys at his school call him that when he get angry.
Oh my God.
So I had to really talk to him. That and you know, they kind of got on him because I gave him a haircut because his nickname is Bear. So I gave him a paw with Bear on his head, and they said I had to cut it out of his hair because it was gang affiliated.
Oh my God.
Obviously I did not cut it out my child's head. And I brought up that a kid before of different race had their hair similar cut like that, but he had more of a lightning bolts in his head, and they said nothing to him. So let's just say I didn't do nothing to my kid's head, but I started talking to them fairly early about it. You know, just to let them know, especially nowadays, that you know you are more than what the society is showing that you are. You know, I started going back towards letting them know African history.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I'm glad I've been able to homeschool them, because I kind of been able to double down on that since all this has been going on.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's the kind of thing that I have been, you know, glad to kind of get in, you know, in the way right now. So like as it goes, you know, I'm letting mine develop. You know, I got them at, you know, 5 and 4 and just, you know, some of them 3 and, you know, and the infant. He's still working with that one. Oh, she's got now. So she yummy, she numbing shit now. So right, but that was a great opener right there for me. Because like personally, I believe that development of the mind starts at childhood. It comes with you know, what they see, what they are experiencing while all of the, you know, maintenancing of their life even is going on. So when the world is, when they're developing all of this, you know what I mean, going on with them, and they see that their family is one way, but then when they step outside their home and they, you know, they see their friends or they meet their friends outside at school or whatever, they tend to see different lifestyles and different.
Right, that's what I'm saying. At first, I taught my kids not to. They know to look at people on the inside. They don't look at color. You know, with me, you already know that you know I'm bisexual. My kids do know that. So they know that there are different people in the world, and just because they are different, do not mean that, you know what I'm saying, they are bad. It's only who you are on the inside and integrity. So, you know.
Absolutely. There you go. And that's really what I'm talking about. Like, oh, I'm sorry. You were saying?
Raising my kids, you know, I didn't know what they fitted in. And see, what happened was my daughter, she's 15 right now. I had her in school. She wanted to drop out. She started doing little smoking weed with her friends. She was prostituting. Doing all of it, man. And I didn't know where to guide her. You know.
bro. You see, but do you just the suction of them having to be absorbed outside and looking outside and wanting everything that they see outside instead of learning what they need to know counts inside first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you get where I'm going.
Yeah, I tell my kids all the time. I'm like, shoot, I can tell you, information up to you if you use it. Like that whole, teach a person a fish thing. I mean, it's up to you to actually use what I'm telling you. But you know what I'm saying? At least I can sleep easy knowing that I did give you the information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. And that's what I'm talking about. So, you know what I mean? As we proceed into this conversation, we opening these doors, man. We're really trying to like gain people's understanding so that they can establish like a better development for themselves, and if not for, their children in the future, you know what I mean? So like they realize that by growing up into this kind of a developing world, even looking outside has value, but not looking at what it is. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And seeing the sparkle of it. See, and that's where that whole theory, that whole saying, if everything that shine ain't gold. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So
I also tell them too at the age of 5, like my youngest is 5, and I let her know because she always wants what you have. I'm like, no, you're gonna be a leader. Stop following. Following will get you into some stuff you don't even want to get yourself into. Be a leader. Stop following all the time.
Exactly. Don't follow nobody.
I wish somebody would have told me that when I was a kid. That's what I told them, dude. I was my other kid too. I was mother at 14. You know what I'm saying? So
right. You see what I'm saying?
She's doing crazy things, and I don't know how guys.
But
she's prostituting.
Yeah.
My sister was the same.
Doing all that bad rap shit.
Yeah, I was about to say I was a wild child too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got pregnant at 14, had her at 15. So I became a mom real early. So,
Yeah.
It's hard when they're teenagers already because they think they know everything. It's a hard age.
She was trying to have me, like I'm her Piper to show me how much money she's making and stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna get you with that. That's next step. I'm gonna throw out some.
Right? Yeah, that's next step. That'll definitely help a little bit.
But imagine how that goes when you start to get into the grandkids. You see what I mean? The futures of these children as they're growing into this development. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm saying it's scary times right now. I feel like they are killing off. My 17-year-old generation is getting killed off right now because they have learned how to make money without going to college, without going to this corporation. So they're killing them off, and they're dumbing down the next generation so they don't have to worry about it. They don't want you to make money. They want you to make money for them. They want you clocking in.
Exactly.
There's a new age slavery. You know what I'm saying? They found out how to enslave everybody.
New age slavery. Yes. There you go. The new age slavery. Now, can we get an amen on that? Shit. Like, golly, for real. Like, I mean, this is where we're at right now, folks. Like, and if you realize in America, we're dealing with this kind of blowback right now on a political level right now. This is why folks that have these conversations, we see this in real time. Like, folks are like, we're bringing these topics up. These topics hit the floor. They're saying no. I was
already there, and just with all the cameras and stuff there, you can see it more. It's hard for them to hide it now. That's all. It was already there.
You see what I mean? And the accountability of it all. You know what I'm saying? And you dig me? And as we take this time, we also want to say, that we are also remembering, the loss of the dear brother, George Floyd.
I know he passed away on my birthday. It's my birthday today.
He passed away. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. I got a friend of mine down south. Happy birthday to
thank you.
Yeah, so
that's what my hair all messed up, playing with the water guns and stuff,
Well, happy birthday. That's really what I'm talking about, though. Let's enjoy it while we are here. We are blessed as we are growing.
Yeah, I'm hoping they pass that law, that George Floyd law. I hope Biden really fixes
We're still fighting on it because they still pushing back on it. The Republicans are still trying to push back on it as much as possible.
Hey, some of the Democrats too. Let's not go there. Some of the Democrats too.
Right, and that's the whole thing. Like they're trying to gut into it. You know what I mean? They're trying to gut it out, like, and make it look like some fucking stage act. I feel like what it had in it was real. Keep it full or leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Keep it, meaning keep all of the stipulations from the bill.
Okay. Yeah.
The initial write-up of the bill. You see what I'm saying? Keep all of the stipulations for the initial write-up of the bill or nothing else. Fuck you. You don't deserve this right now. You screwed our fucking. You just tried to kill off elected officials in your own government to get a win that you really obviously for people in front of millions of people seeing that this shit was true.
Yeah.
But you tried to control the media to tell them no, it was false, it was fake.
Yeah, but it's hard to hide information like that with all the cameras and stuff.
It's hard to hide that kind of information. People, let's get real here.
So since they know they can't hide it right now, they're trying to what they call condition us.
Right. So again, hence the reason why I feel like today was the perfect day to have such a conversation, because critical race theory, folks, this starts the conversation. Folks don't need, if they knew about this from day one, if we knew about this from day one, you think that at the moment of their, coming into realization of that this would be like such a disproportionate situation, we would have had a better solution to making things a lot more better, rather than, or not even that. It's not even that. You realize it's not that they don't know. It's not that they aren't aware. They don't care. You see what I'm saying? And we have to start making them accountable for this, though. Meaning we have to start approaching these people at their offices. Like, look, bruh, we need to talk. Yeah, man, something ain't right. This shit ain't right.
Yeah. I feel like they'll start more if they become more accountable for what they do. I know, man, you talked about this already. I feel like if you are a police officer, you should not be able to plead insanity. I think that's something they should be able to fix. I think that they should be able to get therapy every other month or something like that. Yeah. It's mandatory. I think they should have a psych evaluation before they even get a badge and a gun.
Yeah, and I think
so. You cannot use that
whatsoever. And they should have one until they retire. And they should have one until they retire. Hello, even after, because even after there's things that need help. There are people that still have suffered, retirees that suffer in silence after retiring. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to say here, all this is definitely I feel like planned. You want me to say what I said before was when you was driving home?
Just to have it on the goddamn record, because I think it.
I know. I heard the Uber driver. The Uber driver was like, "Damn, that was deep." But
you see what I'm saying?
Basically, I said to him that I feel, let's say if you own something, and I think you own surpass you, that made you up in the head. That's what happened to them. They spent a lot of money to get us slaves over here. And even though we have paid our dues back from that money that they did, they've seen how we are when they gave us equality. When we had Black Wall Street, we had equality. at that time. Well, more probably than now, because couldn't nobody really do anything because the country was down and out because they lost their slaves. We end up having Black Wall Street. They were hungry. They seeing us eating, so they took that down to make sure that would never happen again. We owned you. It's like even having I don't know, like having your dog or something. You know what I'm saying? You own dog, and the dog passing you and do better than you, and possibly we don't want to take over. If you look, you've never heard any black person say, "Oh, we want to take over the country." Many of our leaders we want to bring together.
Hell no.
And we want to come together as a nation. We ain't never tried to take over this country.
Right.
And it never even came to thought.
Right.
We don't think that way.
Yeah. I think they
because we weren't built that way.
We don't think that way. We're not built that way. Same thing.
We weren't built that way. We weren't built to build. We weren't built to try to take over the nation. We were built to make the nation flow in harmony as it should.
Yeah, we just want to be a part of it, like everybody else.
Together.
Everybody who came here, whether in religion or whether minorities, you came here and you had to do your due. You know that you got treated like crap. But then you were straight after that. They treat you with respect. You're able to get loans. You're able to get this. You're able to get that. We're the only ones that's not able to do so. We can, but they fight us on it because of that. We're the only ones they actually own. We own them. In their head, they still own us.
Exactly. And I think they should know how to,
see what I'm saying?
I think they should learn how to restrain.
That's the whole thing in the nutshell.
The police should learn how to restrain people because they don't know how to restrain people. One time they arrested me.
Oh, it's not
they're doing exactly what they made to do.
Come on, man.
They're doing exactly what they made to do. They weren't made to keep the country safe. They were made to oppress.
To restrain. They were made to oppress. Capture, obtain,
oppress.
All costs. Yeah, life or death. Dead or alive.
One time I got arrested and he put me against the concrete sidewalk and I couldn't breathe, man. And I think I was gonna die right then and there.
Whoa. Hello? Listen, bruh. They don't care about, they have no care at all about you. And that's the sad part about it. We have to, us people of color have to acknowledge and see this first whenever we are approached by cops and shit. Why do you think this is such a critical conversation for people of color? Why do you think people of color feel like this should be number one conversation in school? Why does this even come up in a conversation to people like, yo, why don't we start having critical race conversations about our fucking, culture and stuff?
I feel like they should tell the truth about history. They leave things out. With me being in school right now,
they tell the goddamn truth, exactly.
With me being in school right now, I'm in college right now, and we had a history class, and we've learned more in history that they do not teach us in elementary school and middle school and high school. They don't teach us that.
Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what
they blur the truth a little. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, let's open up the floor to truth, man. Stop being so fucking deceitful. I'm from upstate New York. I live in Albany, upstate New York.
Chicago, South Side.
I'm gonna know that.
So, see what I'm saying? And we
I'm in D.C. But I'm in North Carolina right now, so.
But the mentality of but you know what I mean? Like the thing is that we keep this whole thing feng shui. So at the end of the day, what I'm understanding mostly is the fact that, you know what I mean, we are here realizing that, you know what I mean, this situation needs to be talked about. And we have many people that we can go to at our disposal to talk to this conversation, have this conversation with. It's up to us to push them forward to make, you know what I mean, that happen. But
they just need to make laws in place. I think we done did enough talking.
We need to put laws. We need to have people that are willing to put down laws that put penalties and violations on any officials, elected officials, Supreme Court justices, or people in authority that tend to abuse their laws, or they abuse these laws given to man to abide in this country for, you know what I mean, sake of the fact that if you violating these rules, you taking these people's lives for granted, and you taking things that, you know, into your own controls and trying to deform this whole situation to be your own, you know, fuck you and it's all about me type of deal. You deserve to be fucking penalized to the highest, to another degree of intensity, because you taking the profession given to the highest people in the land, and it can damage not just one or two people's lives, but dozens, if not hundreds and thousands.
Change it. I mean, if you look at it, if you change the government, you change the world. Like Bob Marley said, every government is dirty.
Every fucking dirty.
You can't find one that ain't dirty.
One of them dirty.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't find another one.
I'm a janitor.
They all fucked
I'm a
up.
janitor at this council house, and man, these white folks, they be talking about crazy shit. They be talking about power.
You understand?
I got the power.
They do right now.
Listen.
He ain't alone.
They can do. They run around this motherfucker screaming that shit because they do.
Oh, they do right now.
That's the fucked up
feel
part
like
about
it's
it.
slipping out of their palm of their hands right now. That's why they're going.
Oh yeah, they really do.
You know what I'm saying? It's
That's why they getting all up
their
in their
hands right now.
Like literally, all like
Hell yeah.
But it's slipping to people who don't want to take over. They just want to make the country better. You know what I mean? But they can't get out of that mindset of, no, I don't want you to surpass me.
Yeah,
I can't let you surpass me.
Right.
They will break this country down to nothing before they let you do so.
You know how much
To nothing before they do that. Exactly. And you know what's crazy?
And I'm not talking about all of them, because I'm saying that I wouldn't even say it's it's more of a power thing when it comes to money and stuff. I mean, as far as, you know, the Caucasian people, they might have a leg up, but it's more about the power of level, the people who got the money and the people who don't.
Right.
The workers are getting shitted on.
I agree. That is good.
Because the rich is all colors. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you see the Trumpers, there's Mexican, black Trumpers and all that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So,
I mean, good grief, sisters. We got, and I mean, I understand to some degree how you can be caught up in such a whirlwind of craziness like that, because when you don't think outside the general perspective of BS that's being planted in front of you, and you don't choose to think, you choose to think for yourself and find out what's really free. Because this is why we had this conversation yesterday, honestly. This is why we had the topic, y'all, the question of the day yesterday. What does freedom mean to you?
You know what freedom means to me?
Freedom is being able to go to the grocery store without no headphones, because I got to wear headphones because I don't want to watch people watching me while I'm grocery shopping, and I ain't never stole a day in my life.
Exactly.
Freedom is being able to work for a company that's not trying to shit on you and keep you where you at and be able to move up in levels, no matter the color, race, or creed.
Exactly.
Talk to them. This is what we saying. Can we live on the wages that we earn from the jobs that we do? You don't think McDonald's motherfuckers go through shit every day? If they were paid more, I bet you they'd be doing that job a way different way.
The ones that still be paid more, they got paid more, like teachers.
Hell. Exactly.
They don't pay cops nothing, so, it is easy for them to go dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You gotta understand this. And then the funding that they do get goes on the wrong shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are we giving them funding for better?
Because they don't want the masses to have knowledge.
To kill people.
And how
knowledge is power, and they don't want you to have that. They need you to be just smart enough to do your job in that corporation. Other than that, they don't want you smart enough.
See?
How do we got all this money for wars, but we
See?
still got people starving here on the streets?
On the phone, baby. Go.
Right here on the corner.
YouTube.
Right here on the corner. Come on, people.
Right here on the south side, man. You see how many homeless people are
Yeah.
man? It's crazy over here. It's crazy. It's motherfucking every day.
And I mean, this is we got about 3 minutes left in this show right now, man. And I'm just coming into y'all to tell y'all right now. We got a little bit of time left. And with this little time left, I just wanted to let y'all know, man, I really appreciate y'all tapping in with me today. And for those of y'all that don't fuck with it, I need y'all to do me a favor while I'm in here. Tap in with the link in my bio, yo. Yo, get associated with that Linktree link, yo, because I got a lot of links in there for y'all to tap in and get acquainted with me as far as my music, competition, different things like that. So tap in. I'm about to start adding more new shit. Hopefully, once I figure out how to screen record, we will get some shit on there where I can start posting these videos on YouTube for y'all to check out at your leisure. You know, share amongst your friends, get some good shit going. This shit right here need to be talked about and shared out. But either way, share this shit to your folks. If you see this live, post it. You tapping in with this shit is real shit. We talk about this every Tuesday. Talk about it Tuesday. We don't really talk about this, but we have other topics to talk about. This just happened to be the conversation of the day. So you see what I'm saying? This is the Peasy Show. Fuck with me, yo.
All right, peace, love, and happiness, my people.
Before we get off, can I
Much love. Oh, wait.
About racism and stuff? Let me do a quick freestyle.
Okay, get it in.
You want? I've been trying to freestyle for a minute, but you ain't let me.
I was, you know, we had to have this conversation first. We got you now. The floor's yours.
You got a beat for me?
Oh shit!
I can't be
well, see, if I gotta pull up a beat, it's gonna take me a minute. I got something that I can give you for a little bit. That might work. By the time I pull up the beat, that should be the live sheet would shut down. So just go ahead and hit me with a acapella.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, let's hear the words. Let's hear the poetry.
Shit, you guys ready?
Go for it.
Down the halls of the school, there was racial profile in my ass. And you know, I was trying to get to the gas and I was trying to get past all that racist bullshit. And it's like, they hit me. And the cops started stomping on my head. The white man was all over me. And it was doing me dirty. And I was trying to get flirty with the homegirls. But then the white girls, they would even fade on me. And then the white man came up in the stand and started stampede.
Whoa.
And then when I was little, I was 4 and I was scared of the cops. They went pop, pop, pop. The white man. I remember I was going down to the gas station. I was going down to the gas station and they would even let me buy a Gatorade. Because I was with my...
At 2,101,891,273.
Black baby. Because, you know, what I'm saying is like what Tupac said. And you know how we do it.
Whoa.
Because I remember the word, they always trying to accuse me of stealing when I'm in the store. And I can't even get onto the floor. And it's like, all white people just accusing me. He's stealing. I ain't dealing shit. All I'm trying to do is be happy. And I'm just living this crappy life. And I just remember my pappy before he died. And I had to slide. And I was in a ride getting a DUI for shit I didn't even do. And it's like the bird flu. This shit ain't gonna catch up with me. Because when I see it, I'ma flee it. And I'ma get rid of it till I see it. And then I remember I was riding the block with my cousin. And then the white man was heckling us. And they beat the shit out of me until I had no teeth left in it. And you know, when I got rid of it, I got in of it.
Okay. Poetry.
Hey,
That was
poetry.
I'm just not feeling too good.
At 2,130. Recents button.
No, but I'm feeling where you going with that. That's real
About
shit.
feeling.
Notification shade. Media. Collapsed. Instagram. 7 more notifications inside. The barber would. Stop.